What's up, soldiers? This is Brother Phil. Hey, today I want to give actually my testimony in regards to uh, when I got saved, how I got saved, where I got saved, and what I've been doing since I've been saved. But first of all, before I give my testimony, this one I ask you, right? I was talking to I was talking to my wife today, right? She said that she was in the stores, and she says a crowd of people in stores and how they're putting limits on everything, right? I know what you're gonna say. This is one of them, oh man, the shortage type stuff. Yeah. But I think you'll understand more once you know my testimony and how the Lord really deal with me and use me. But I was listening and I was thinking, like, okay, what if it's a time? And I'm gonna say, what if? Since we don't like people telling you what's gonna happen. But what if? What if there's limits on the things you can buy, right? But what if there's only a certain amount that you can spend in the stores? What if? What if you go to the store, they say you can only spend $100. You got $100 spending limit in these stores. What if? What if you go to the store and you can't even walk through the grocery stores no more? But you're gonna have to place an order or fill out a list or something like that. And somebody at the store will go through the store, pull the goods you want, and deliver it up to the register where you standing at. Why would they do that? To control the goods, right? And also it keep people from arguing and fussing with the cashier. When you're supposed to only have two, you're trying to grab four. And what if you slipping some in a bag, trying to steal, shoplift, on top of buying what you want in your groceries, right? In your grocery cart, right? So think about these what ifs. What if they start controlling the way you spend in these stores? And what if you don't walk through the stores no more? What if they bring it to you at the register to control the products that's coming in and that's going out? All right, that was just a what if moment. Just think about that. So for me, I think a lot of people just need to know who I am. And I'm not saying that in a pride way, but when I say who I am, man, it's like, man, what God has done for me, right? And I believe if people uh, have a pastor, they have a leader, a teacher, whoever, somebody's that you're looking up to, that you're listening to, you should know something about them. And so that's my testimony. I'm tell you my testimony. I can't tell you everything bit by bit, but I can give you a briefing. And I do this because I think uh, I think it's needed, and then it helps people to understand um, why Brother feel the way he is. And I'm not saying I got issues with nobody about what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I don't got nothing like that. I was just at work today and I was thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, man, I just put my testimony out here. And then we'll go from there. And God really dealing with me in regards to really getting stuff out now. Because a lot of times I write it. I got notebooks full of stuff he done gave me. But I don't publish it or nothing like that. So I'm going to start using this video for a while. Just shooting quick. I don't even know what you'll call it. Teaching, sayings, just things he revealed to me. I'm going to start putting those out even more. All right. Testimony. All right, me. Ever since I was born, I believe, I was born to be a soldier, right? Even when I was a kid, high school, anything, I always wanted to go to the Army. That's all I ever wanted to do was Army. That's all I ever cared about. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about college. I didn't care about high school. I didn't care about nothing. Just Army. Just Army. So my junior year, I signed up for the military. So once I graduated 2 weeks after high school, I was into the military. I wanted to be in the military all my life. That's all I knew. I was going to retire in the military, right? So I go into the military in 1989. I do my basic training. I go to Germany, Belzec, Germany. We go to Iraq, Desert Storm. We go to Desert Storm. I'm with 7 Corps. I was a combat medic in an army unit. We was frontline. Our movement was to kill anything in front of us. It was a movement to contact. Our mission was to destroy all Republican guards that were stationed inside the desert inside Iraq. So we went to war. We killed everything in front of us. Then I found out later on that Saddam Hussein put Christians in the front line, and we killed a lot of Christians. I learned that in my trip in Vegas, talking to a lieutenant that was one of his medical officers. Strange meeting. Glad I met the man, but I didn't know he put Christians in the front lines, right? Lesson learned. Lord forgive us, but we know not what we do sometimes, right? So I'm in the military. Like I said, I was going to make it a career. But in the military, I was still dibbing and dabbing in this gang stuff, right? In our neighborhoods in Gary, back then, back in the 80s and 90s, neighborhoods were separated by like gang affiliations, right? So I grew up in Terrytown, that was known as Folks, GD, Gangster Disciple type area, right? So I still had a lot of that in me, even in the military. Okay, so I'm in the military. I come back from Iraq. I come back to the States. I go to Fort Sam Houston, Kansas. Man, before I leave there, I re-up for another 4 years. And in my re-up, I signed up for 91 Charlie to become a nurse. So I go to Fort Sam Houston, I get my nursing license. I get my nursing license, I go to Fort Carson, Colorado Springs, right? So I'm up there at Colorado Springs, a nurse, working in the hospitals, cash units, and things like that. But I started affiliating with these gangs again. And so I affiliate with these gangs, some things occur, and I get court-martialed. And I get sentenced to 15 years in prison, court-martialed. So they offered me a deal. I could have had 10 years, but I would have had to sell drugs for ATF. And also sell drugs to my friends back in Gary, right? So I told them I couldn't do it. So only thing I had to go to trial. I had to go to trial because I didn't want to go out like that. So I was looking at 150 years when I went to trial. I went to trial, got found guilty. I was sentenced to 15 years, military. That's what I got, 15 years. 15 years, you lose everything. Dishonorable discharge, you lose to the lowest pay grade, you lose all your benefits, you lose all your veteran benefits. It's like you never existed to the military. All you are is a social security number. That's all you are. I still didn't dislike the military because I love the military. I messed up. They didn't mess up. They had to teach me a lesson because I was a sergeant. I had rank. I put a lot of work in for the military. I was very decorated. They even got an A&E special out there on our case, on A&E. And I think that brought shame to the military, But so I get my 15 years. But while I'm in pretrial confinement, locked up in Littleton, Colorado, I'm talking to my sister. My sister telling me, yeah, I need Jesus, right? So I'm sitting in a pod in Colorado. I'm on that phone, and she said, Phil, you need Jesus. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I've never been in a place where you couldn't do nothing for yourself. Never been in a place I couldn't do nothing for myself. You couldn't have no girls do nothing for you. You couldn't have no dudes do nothing for you. Man, you was stuck. Because they wouldn't let me out pre-trial. I had to stay in jail till I went to trial, right? So once I got snatched up, I actually got snatched up while I was back at Fort Sam in B-Knox school. I was moving up to be a staff sergeant. They snatched me out of class and I never seen the streets again, right? So I'm in the county jail in a place, man, where you can't do nothing for yourself, man. They tell you what to do, when to eat, blah, blah, blah. And you fresh off the streets. Your mind is still in the streets when your body in prison. Your body in prison, but your mind's still out there. It takes almost 2 years for your mind to really settle where you at when you get locked down, right? That's what I learned, 2 years. It took me 2 years. But so I tell her, yeah, man, I need Jesus, right? So we said the sinner's prayer on the phone. And man, my life changed from that day on, right? So once I said the sinner's prayer on the phone, I got this strange thirst, right? All I used to do was read the Bible all day. I mean, this is pre-trial, man. It's like, man, even when the light's off, they lock you in your cells. The light's still on in the pod. But my bunkie, he sleep, he on the top bunk. And I'm against the door because the light coming in through the glass on the door, and I'm against the door with my Bible reading, right? And so when I'm reading, man, I'm laughing. I'm like, oh my God, the way God was dealing with people, especially the Old Testament, right? Man, I'm like tripping on the Old Testament, like, man, dude, you did this, and God, you like this. I mean, I was feeling it. And so they crack the doors open in the morning, man, I'm still on this word. You still got to get your trays, you don't want to go hungry. Like Jenny Craig, man, that you definitely a shrink in the county. But, man, I'm in that word, man. I'm in that word, and it was a thirst, man. It was like, for real, it was like you was reading that thing, like you had to read. I can't even explain it, right? But I know many of us been through it. When we get saved, we should start eating that word. And you just drawn to it and you understand it, man. And you're laughing, you're giggling, you're like, whoa, and you're saying, I'm sorry. I mean, all these emotions go through you, right? And so I started dealing with a couple Mexicans in there, man, telling them about the Bible. I got that Mary Kay Baxter book in, and I'm, reading to them, you know what I'm saying, what Mary Kay Baxter was saying, divine revelations of hell, and I'm talking to them about the Bible and things like that. And then I go through trial. And the crazy thing about trial is this, right? I'm going to try to, this actually going to be like a 2-part video because it's almost at 12 minutes right now, right? But this is what happened in trial, right? The dude that was testifying against me, he was in another pod because he was already sentenced. They sent him back in to get some years knocked off his sentence to testify, right? And he's also the one that worked with the feds against us, right? He was a confidential informant. He was my guy, man. But so this is what happened, right? I'm in a chapel in a library, me and some guys, and this guy coming down the hall, and he coming to the chapel too. Doing trial. I'm telling you this, I can't make this up, right? There was no way we were supposed to come together. We had separate T's because he was testifying against me, right? There was no way we could be in the same unit at the same time. So they bring him in the chapel. The door closed. He realized I was back there, and his eyes get big, right? He can't get back out. So I wave him over. I was like, hey, man, come over here. I called his name. I say, hey, man, come over here. Let me talk to you. So he come back there. He sit down. I say, hey, man, I ain't tripping, man. I said, bro, I forgive you. And he looked at me in a crazy way when I said, I forgive you. And so, man, when I said, I forgive you, he's like, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And then he went on with this story about why he was sorry, right? About why he did it and what they said they wanted and things like that, right? And so I was like, hey, man, that's cool, brother, man. I love you. And this is strange, man. I'm fresh into the Bible. I'm fresh into God. And you forgiving the person that set you up. But also, I know it's now testifying against you. And this prior to his testimony, right? So, man, we go to trial. He get up there to testify. And check this out. When he get up there to testify, the prosecutor start asking him about me. And this is what he said. He said, Sergeant, I even had nothing to do with this. ATF, and he gave the agents names. I'm not going to say names. Told me to say this and do this, and do this, and this. And they was trying to get him to really kill me in front of the jury and everybody, right? But this dude would not swing a sword. He would not gun me down. He would not speak bad against me in trial, right? And so what they did, they got real mad, right? ATF was in the back. And they got real mad. So they what would you call it? They stopped the trial at that time. And they took him off the stand. They took him in the back. And you heard all this arguing, right? And then when he came back forward, they put him on the stand. And this is what the prosecutor said. He is now the hostile witness, right? But he would never break. He would never break. He would never go with the plan they wanted him to go with during trial, right? And so the jury looking, everybody looking crazy, like what is really going on here, right? Excuse me. And so he became a hostile witness, but I believe he still got the time knocked off because I reached out to him when I got out a few years after I got out. I think he got the time knocked off. No, he told me that he had a good attorney that got some time knocked out for him doing appeals. But this is why I told that story, because this thing sits with me all my life, forgiveness. What forgiveness can do for you. Man, I believe if I would have been angry at that brother, or I would have sent word to D-Unit, D-Pod, what this dude was really on, or I would have snapped on him some type of way, I think he would have got in trial, man. He would have put the noose around me for real. He would have really gunned me down the way they wanted him to gun me down. And like I said, I went to trial looking at 150 easy. And in the military, you go get that when it comes to our case. You know, like I said, he got 25 years. And I mean, he did way less. He was caught with way less. He did way less than we ever did. And that man got 25 years real quick. So I knew I was going to get the 150 off the top, right? But I had to take it to trial because, man, I couldn't go out the other way. And so, man, by forgiving that brother, I believe that the Lord forgave me. You know, forgiveness really works, man. I think, and I believe that was one of my biggest tests to say when it came to really serving God. And that wasn't even 6 months into my walk. I mean, I really forgave that brother, man. And I truly believe that helped me out in trial. Because in trial, man, I only got 15 years. Man, I got 15 years, man. And in the military, it's different because the jury, if you go with a jury, the jury find you guilty and the jury give you your time. This dude that testified against us, he went judge alone. He went to a speedy trial where the judge found you guilty and the judge gave you the time. And that dude got 25 years. And so I went with a jury. And man, when they said 15 years, my head fell back and then forward because it's like your life over. I ain't never been in a place and then in a situation where your life is in another man's hand. I mean, everything you've done in life means nothing at that very time because these people, it's like they got life and death in their hands and your life is in another man's hand. The man don't even know you. These people don't even know you. And it's like your life is in somebody else's hands. Man, that is a crazy feeling. That's a feeling that can't even be described, right? But when they said 15 years, this judge's face was hot. I mean, hot. This man wanted to give me the whole 150. But the Lord only gave me 10% of that 150. So I it's like the Lord paid the tithes off the time. They wanted 150. They only get 15%. I only get 15 years. So it's like time. I got tithes paid on my time, right? And so that was it, man. You know, that's how my walk in Christ started. Worcester County Jail. And that was man, that was so long ago. That was like 1996. Man, I'm an old dude, huh? That was like 1996, 97 when I got court-martialed. And I've been walking with the Lord ever since then. And so what I'm going to do is, make this in 2 parts because it's coming up on 20 minutes right now. And I'm going to tell you from the county until coming out. And I'm going to make that real quick too. Real brief. I love y'all.